To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. Well, as you know, this is the polar vortex is here. Ah! So it's Saturday and oh man, what a bummer down day it's been. I haven't been feeling good. I got the sinus headache that's been killing me all day, so I finally had to just break down and go to the store today and get some Tylenol. We didn't have any Tylenol. Tried to start the truck, and it's so cold the truck didn't want to start. I mean, and the thing is it's a relatively new truck. I've never had a lick of trouble with it. So today I tried to start it, and of course the battery, it struggled, and it finally turned over, and I had let it sit there for a second, and it died. The truck has never died on me, but it is so cold, it just died. So then it struggled to start again. Got it to start. I let it warm up. Went over to Dollar General and got some Tylenol. It's supposed to snow again tomorrow, so we're going to be stuck here. I mean, we just now got unstuck. We're kind of going stir crazy, waiting for this polar vortex to go away. Apparently, you can't even go outside for more than 30 minutes or it will melt the skin off your body. You'll get frostbite. They're not kidding about that. I went out to get some firewood this morning and start up the generator. Because the batteries, the house batteries, you know, they're out in the cold also. So they're struggling to keep up. I didn't get it too dangerously low. You're not supposed to get them only lower than 12.3 volts. And when I went down there to look, it was right at 12.3 volts. So I started a generator, just get them going before the sun came up. Now the solar panels have taken over. I only had to run it for, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes. The other thing that I've had a lot of success with, I wanted to keep everybody apprised of this, is my water tank that I got outside. It's inside my water tank box. It's insulated, and I've been heating it with the heat from inside the house. I've been blowing that into the box outside. It's just outside the wall here. If you were here when I built the house, which was just like a few weeks ago, I put that box in. I can't believe how many people are gone when I actually built that. People have no idea what I'm talking about. It was just like 3 weeks ago. But yeah, I built a box out there. I have my IBC tank inside the box, water pump, the whole deal. Pump the water in. Well, it's so cold out there, I've been worried that it's going to freeze. Got ventilation going through the wall of my house into the box. And it got down to 24 degrees inside the box. So last night, the temperature got down to 0 degrees. So here we're at 24 degrees. So I'm thinking we're doing pretty good. Of course, I run the pump. It kicks on every few minutes. Well, I would say every half a minute. It kicks on. And we've been collecting the water in buckets here. And then we just use the water. Or I take the water back out and just dump it back in the tank. Either way. And I think that's a good idea too, because you're taking warm water and putting it back in the tank. While the battery is charging, I hooked the generator up to the battery charger to charge the battery in the truck. I went ahead and decided to throw a little heater. I got a 250 watt heater, threw it down in there, just to kind of try to warm things up before it gets down to sub-zero temperatures tonight. I've been able to raise the temperature with that little heater almost 10 degrees now. So far, I'm really happy. My whole expectation out of this box was just, you know, normal wintertime temperatures down in the 20s and the teens maybe, and have running water. Well, here we're in sub-zero temperatures and we still have running water. Carolyn got some good news today. She ordered, well, it's not really an order, heirloom seeds. Now, as you know, if you were here like a week ago, she got a whole bin of heirloom seeds. And I also kind of advertised or gave a shout out. We don't do advertisements here on this channel, but I gave a shout out to the company, Zach, with his heirloom seeds, heritage heirloom seeds. I put a link down in the comments and a lot of people went over there. Well, we got ours and she was pretty excited. Well, she also found a web page. It's a nonprofit organization and they ask for donations. And you give them a donation and they'll send you seeds. One package of whatever it is you want. You can't have two packages of whatever this is. I can't read, I don't have my glasses on. So we gave a donation, a pretty high donation. There's a minimum donation, but we went ahead and gave a little extra, and we ordered our seeds, and they came in today. So we're pretty excited. Well, Carolyn is really excited. I've noticed about myself, I like to garden. I really do. But I never get excited about it. If it wasn't for Carolyn, I would never do it. I wouldn't order the seeds. I wouldn't get it started. I wouldn't set the whole house up with seedlings, you know, in all the windowsills. I just wouldn't. But once I till the ground. Of course, I wouldn't do that either unless somebody asked me. Then I till the ground, and then I get pretty excited about it. And then I'm out there working it almost every day. So I've never understood that about myself, but it is what it is. And I used to grow some pretty big gardens. Now that I've met Carolyn, she doesn't grow very big gardens. I think we're going to change that thinking here pretty soon. But my whole backyard was nothing but a garden. I had basically 3 garden spots. And I would do 2 grows of corn. Here in Missouri, you can grow corn and then do another growing. And I used to do that in my chicken coop area. Each year I would section off a piece of my chicken coop, chicken run or whatever you want to call it, grow the corn. I would fence it off so the chickens couldn't get into it. And then you had all that chicken manure, and it really was good for the corn. Well, the next year you would move her to the other side of the chicken run, and then they would fertilize this side, and I would can corn. The last year I gardened before long story, I don't want to get into the whole story of, I had to move away from the country and go into the city life for a few years. So the last year I had a big garden. I had 90 tomato plants. And we canned all those tomatoes. And of course you just do a water bath canning with tomatoes because it's got acid in it. So things like beans and that kind of stuff, you have to do a pressure cooker, pressure canner. But the acidic things, you don't need a pressure cooker. So corn, you have to add pressure canner with. So I was really into all this stuff and I really like doing it. But again, I just never get excited about it. So she's been pretty excited that she got her seeds today. So she's back at making her little seed planters. And what this is just toilet paper roll. So this is what it starts out with. And what you do is you just kind of fold it into a square like that. And then you cut each corner. You got 4 corners. And then you just kind of fold it over like a box. Just do the little flap over thing. It's going to be hard to do here on camera. And now you have a little planter that will disintegrate eventually when you bury it. So all the roots will come out of this. Now, then you put your potting soil in it. And of course, you want to get potting soil that says seed starter because other potting soils has too much acid and just different things. These are specifically designed for growing seeds. So make sure you get that. And then she started her seeds a few weeks ago. Now, these are just Dollar General seeds. And I don't know if you can see that. She's already got a tomato growing. Here it is February, we have a tomato. Now what will happen is this may get too big for this. So she went online and started making newspaper planters. And that'll go inside of here if this gets too big for this. If you want to look this up, just Google it. Newspaper seed starter, and YouTube videos will come up, and that's how she made that one. And they come in different sizes. Now, of course, we have this tiny house, and it is lit up like a Christmas tree in here. We have these huge windows in our tiny house. And so we can just put it in the windowsill. We've got large windowsills. If you saw the tiny house build, you would have seen all that. I'm not going to swing the camera around so you can see all that right now. But so she's just been putting these in the windowsill. So the sun comes over on this side, starts on this side, and goes across to the other side of the house. So she just shifts it from one side of the house to the other. Now, for those of you that were with us last year, we did have a little garden last year. But as you know, we have a lot of shade here, a lot of trees on both sides. So this, like I said, the sun comes up on this side and goes down on this side. Well, we have trees on this side, and we have trees on this side. So we only get a few hours a day of sunlight without shading, which is actually kind of difficult with the solar panels too. We didn't have a big garden. We wanted to experiment last year. Well, we also just moved here, so it wasn't like we had a lot of time to grow a bunch of seeds. We didn't get here, I think, until mid-March or early March, something like that. And we didn't even get seeds starting probably till, gosh, April. So we got a late start. But anyway, we started a garden, and it really was a terrible success. We got a few tomatoes, maybe 10 tomatoes, few beans. I think we got quite a few cucumbers. But this year, you saw me already trim down some trees, cedar trees, got them out of the way so the garden can get more sunlight. As soon as it warms up, I'm going to get some more of that cleaned up. Right now, a lot of these trees are just laying on the ground. I want to get all that cleaned up, but I'm not going to go out there in these cold temperatures. We're going to do raised garden beds this year, and I've already started laying bricks down. And I know a lot of people want to raise them way up. Carolyn doesn't want to do that. I think she only wants to do a layer of bricks or 2 cinder blocks. She doesn't want it really high, which is fine. Maybe over time, she'll get them higher and higher and higher. we could spend a fortune and work and work and work. But the way we try to do things is take it one step at a time. We'll do one row of cinder blocks and then another row. But we're only going to do a couple this year and see how things go. Again, we're not really sure of our success this year. So Carolyn's actually debating, does she want to start her heirloom seeds this year, or she just want to continue with the Dollar General seeds? And I think she's leaning towards the Dollar General seeds. That way, when we have everything worked out, we can plant these. These will last up to 2 years without doing anything to them. After that, you want to put them in the freezer, and you want to keep them dry, and they can last up to 30 years, 25 to 30 years. So I hope I can inspire you to find your excitement when you're living your dream. Thanks for watching.